you have clothes lying on your washer with stains you don't know how to remove? Well, today we will wash away that problem because the queen of clean, Linda Cobb, is here to help us do just that. Hi.
Hey, Steph, how are you today?
Wonderful. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
You know I take my laundry very seriously.
I know you do.
It is no laughing matter in my house.
This is going to be a very good subject for you today.
Okay, so we're doing stain removal with natural products.
Things that you can make at home that are specific to the stains, inexpensive to make, and pretty safe and natural for us to use around our kids and our families.
Great.
Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is an all-purpose stain remover. And I always recommend to you that you label your bottles carefully because you always want to know what's in it. This one is so simple. All we're going to do is we're going to take 1 part of rubbing alcohol. You want to hang on to that, please? 1 part rubbing alcohol. Now, if you have a large container, use the whole bottle of alcohol and 2 bottles of water. It's that simple. Okay, we've got 1 part alcohol. Now we're going to put in 2 parts of water. Now, this is a general all-purpose stain remover.
For all kinds of clothes?
All kinds of clothes. The only thing we want to stay away from is silk.
Okay.
Silk you want to pre-test always, and that's true of any stain remover that you're using.
That's all the ingredients you're putting in this?
That's all the ingredients that we're putting in here. Okay, we're going to screw that on, and we're going to give it just a little shake. Now, this will stay on your shelf. Did I scare you?
I'm like, oh, alcohol right at my face.
This will stay on your shelf for about a year or so.
Wow.
You know, so if you mix a lot of it, it doesn't matter. And you're just basically going to spray it on, let it sit a couple minutes, and then launder as usual. And that's all-purpose stains.
Wow.
Now, moving along, our next one is going to be a beverage, fruit, and grass remover. For this one, we're going to use equal parts of liquid dish soap, any brand is fine, white vinegar, and water. So we're going to kind of just eyeball this. It doesn't have to be perfect because, as I always tell you, it's not brain surgery.
Grass is a tough one, and those fruit juices as well.
It is.
Really a problem.
Okay.
You tell me when.
Okay, keep going. Okay, that's about right.
Great.
Okay, and then we're going to put in our white vinegar.
These little bottles are great, too, these little plastic bottles.
They are. They're terrific. And if you have trouble finding these, even the ones that they put ketchup and mustard in for picnics work, and you can get those at the dollar store. Just make sure, again, that you label. Now we're going to give it a shake.
Smart.
And then, it got away from me. Then we're going to put it onto our grass stain. And we're going to let that sit for a few minutes, and then we're simply going to launder as usual. And again, this one will last on the shelf, too. Exactly the same amount of time, at least a year with no problem.
Wow.
Now, one of the hardest stains to remove from clothes is oily stains, things like salad dressing, olive oil, those kinds of things. So this is going to be our oily stain remover. This one, we're going to put glycerin in. So what we want to do is I'll have you hold that.
What is glycerin exactly?
Glycerin is a lubricant. You find this in the hand cream section at the drugstore. You can actually use it on your hands. It's very lubricating.
Ooh.
Okay, and it's very thick.
I know it's an ingredient in a lot of facial creams.
It is. So we're going to put in a tablespoon of that, and then we're going to take a tablespoon of liquid dish soap. And again, any brand that you normally use is fine. I don't recommend one brand more than the other. Okay, and if I can just get the water from me, I need 8 tablespoons. You want to pour that for me?
I can do it, yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7,
and 8. Okay, we've got that made. Now, this is a wonderful grease remover, remember, because grease removes grease. So because you have the oily glycerin in there, it works really well. You're going to shake it up well.
All right.
And then we're going to treat the oil stain on our tablecloth here by putting it on. And on grease stains, you want to let that sit for maybe 15 minutes to half an hour so it really penetrates. The grease and the moisture in that glycerin will remove the stain. The dishwashing soap that we put in will take out the grease.
Wow.
So it works beautifully.
And then we just launder as usual.
We launder as usual.
Okay.
Now, these are all things that we made, but there's a couple of things that I like to have on the shelf. If you want to hand me that shirt.
Yes.
And the bottle of shampoo there. It is a great ring around the collar remover. You just take, and it needs to be just cheap shampoo, the cheapest you can find. You're going to just put it on. And then you do the old famous queen, work between the thumbs.
Oh, queen, there you go again, working between the thumbs.
Just like that.
Let me give it to you.
And this is great if you have men's shirts where many times at the collar they get the ring around the collar. On your white blouses, it does a great job. Work it in, let it sit a couple minutes, toss it in, and launder. And when you're laundering, you want to remember, look at your care labels and launder appropriately. If it says cold water, use cold. If it says hot, use hot. Mostly nowadays, we're washing our white clothes and our towels in hot water.
Do I have to do this right away prior to laundering?
well-
Can I let it sit for a few days, or it's a kind of thing
Well, it works better if you do it right when you're ready to
immediately,
launder.
right?
That's the best thing. And always remember, we have our Fell Snap the Bar soap, which is a great spotter for anything. Find that in the laundry aisle, the
Thank you
grocery
so
store.
much.
Thank you, Steph. Always
No
great to
more
be
stains
here.
allowed.